How are you?
Doing well, a little confused, but that's why you're here, because you're going to break down the transition. 1 week today, we're going back to the PST. Let's talk about the impact for the consumer, first of all. Who is the big winner when it comes to this?
It depends on what kind of consumer you are. So, for instance, if you're in the market for a bicycle, then you're one of the winning consumers. But if you're a parent that's about to buy some diapers, then you're a loser. So it depends on what it is you're actually looking for to buy to see whether or not you're a winner or a loser.
You know, there was a big confusion a couple of years back when the HST came in. So when we talk about average products that consumers will experience when it comes to basic services or going out for a restaurant, what's the impact here with the GST and HST now in effect next week?
Well, right now, if you go out and have a $100 dinner at a restaurant with some wine, you're paying 12% tax. But the minute you turn around and change over to the PST, you're paying 10% tax on your liquor and then 5% GST on the rest of the bill. So, and the liquor has the 5% on it as well. So you're actually paying a lot more taxes. So it depends. Are you going out for a nice quiet breakfast without any alcohol, or are you going out bar hopping with your friends?
You know, and the interesting thing is looking at the list and just becoming informed on the issues at hand. And I know we're going to get to a resource where we can find out more of those things. For small businesses, what's the big impact and what industries are going to take a hit with this transition happening?
Well, the big problem with small businesses, a lot of them were not in and around back in July of 2010 when the HST came in. So if they weren't around, they don't know whether or not they even have to register for PST. So that's a lot of confusion. Once they inform themselves on whether or not they need to be registered, they're asking questions like, well, how do I do this? What happens? Do I just not collect PST on everything that I do? Or how is it that I deal with this? The HST is so straightforward. You take what you collect, you subtract what you paid, and off goes the rest to the government. And that's where the confusion is. People have to inform themselves and re-educate themselves.
And if they don't, and April 1st comes along and they continue doing business the way they've been doing it, what's the consequence?
Well, the problem that you have is that the tax department doesn't care if you didn't inform yourself. They want their pound of flesh. So if they didn't register properly, they don't have all the information in place, the owners are going to be personally liable for all the taxes that were supposed to be withheld that the consumer may not have paid them.
So sooner or later, it's going to catch up to them.
Exactly.
$1.6 billion was the incentive sent our way to come on board with the HST campaign. What's the consequence for the entire province now that we're going back to the PST format?
We have to pay it back. So it's coming out of your pocket and my pocket, the consumer's pocket. Every British Columbian is going to be paying back that $1.6 billion. The feds have been nice enough to say we have a little bit of time to pay it back, but it still has to go back, and that helped us during the recession.
So for anybody watching this that may have a small business that may think, you know what, they're not up to speed on these issues, where's the best place to start to get ready for what's about to happen?
The government actually has some really good resources. They have their website that you can actually go to, as well as they have a write-in question email address, as well as a 1-800 number that you can call. So you've got all of those. But there are some things that some consumers can do today to make sure that they take advantage of little things. A good example is the car tax. The vehicle tax is going up by 1 to 3%. So if you're in the market for a luxury car, time to buy it now. Anything over $55,000, you're going to be paying 15% tax.
So jump, if I want to get an Audi TT, you're saying now's the time to do it?
Now's the time to go. Just have to make sure your wife's okay with that. So
got to find the wife first, so maybe I can get away with that this week. We have a 1-800 number as well. We're going to pop on screen for you. All of the info you just mentioned in terms of resources we'll put on our Facebook page so everyone can get filled in on that. And I guess final question is, do you think the HST will ever come back?
Probably not in our lifetime, but there's ways to make modifications to the PST system, and hopefully if we lobby our MLAs and we say, hey, we like the idea of the HST, can you make the PST a little bit more like that? Eventually we'll get to the place where it's easier for a lot of businesses and consumers.
Most important thing is being informed with this transition happening. Gabrielle, thanks for waking up early and doing this.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll take a break. Entertainment City coming your way right here.